Kashita means working cooperatively together, and Mai Mai, which is an ethnic minority from Somalia, and the immigration term was they were called Somali Bantu because of their ethnic background. If I had to list the nationalities represented here this week, it would go something like this: Syria, Somalia, Palestine, Sudan, Rwanda, Darfur, Sudan, Afghanistan, Iraq, Burundi, Eritrea, Ethiopia, and I'm sure that I've forgotten some. Bhutan, I shouldn't forget Bhutan, Pakistan. So it's a diverse group, which makes for diverse food, which also makes sometimes a challenge for figuring out what foods grow locally here that the refugees cannot find in the grocery stores or even in the farmers markets. So there's a whole research component of what we do on how to use different types of foods and what foods are missing from their diet. Seville oranges, calamansi limes, these are things that are not, that we call ornamental, but what are not ornamental, but wasted. So, and there's some of these are key components to the Iraqi diets, to the Syrian diets. So finding out what those things are, and then being educated by the refugees, how to prepare them, how to preserve them, recipes, and so we balance something, from my grandmother's grandmother's recipes to their grandmother's recipes of date syrup, date vinegar, Rwandan grapefruit marmalade, and much of which, if not entirely, using locally harvested or green produce. That's a focus on food, a focus on refugees, but harvesting is healing. Harvesting is their first U.S. work history. Harvesting is building a network and making friends. It's being involved with their own success. We increase the disposable income in their house by providing 60 to 100 pounds of fresh fruits and vegetables and other things each week or every 2 weeks for the family. We connect them to a wide array of resources. So, and we work with people that have been here we meet them at the airport, we might work with them when they've been here 3 days, but most importantly is when the Refugee Resettlement Agency's services wane at the 4 to 6 month point, we are here for 6 years, 9 years. And in fact, some of our oldest refugee or Afghani family that's been here 13 years, they become the Afghani ambassadors for Ishkashita, and whenever Afghani new families come in, they pick up an SUV full of produce and bring that out to the Afghani family. We want to make societal change with what we're doing. One, show how the refugees have so much to offer to our society and our culture, enrich it, help us tackle resiliency and climate change with their knowledge of their arid lands. How did they preserve foods? How did they not waste water, and especially not waste food? And we are trying to equate that for all of the society. Wasting fruit is also wasting water, and we live in a desert. So we're also taking refugees out of the city to farms, orchards, hydroponic setups, aquaponic setups, so they're getting exposed to a wide array of agriculture. We connect them to some of the community gardens. We have a community garden that we support heavily, which serves 3 apartment complexes, and we're just about to plant some edible fruit trees there with support from the Arizona Forestry Service. We want them to be able to succeed and survive and give back to the society, and we want the Tucson community, the U.S. population, to know what they're bringing and doing for our country. They work very hard, they give back, sometimes after being here only 3 days. So I think we miss that part of of how hardworking and interested in education and interested in being on their feet. You don't choose to be a refugee. They didn't choose the United States. This is part of the national, international refugee resettlement. And some of our refugees have relatives in 3 or 4 continents, and they didn't want their life to be ripped apart, but they're recovering from that loss, and friendship and friendly faces is what Ishkashika certainly has to offer. My life has been so enriched from working with people that have been through war, genocide, trauma, persecution. I love learning. I love different cultures. I love botany, so I'm learning all of these things alongside my fellow community members of how to use jujubes and acorns and juniper berries. Being able to provide other people new perspectives on refugees, on the different living, different palettes. This gift of giving is something that stays with the volunteers, the staff. I think many of them would say their lives have been transformed by this experience. The focus on sustainability and local foods, as well as the exposure to refugees and the beauty of the human spirit and sharing life together, side by side, and not in a system that's hierarchical, but more, we're with you, we're here to help, we want you to learn to work within this society, one foot in your culture and one foot in your new residence community, so that you're successful on all levels.